Hello, people. Okay, well, now it's time for part 4. This time, it talks about people complaining about Cartoon Network. Oh man, this is something that receives many criticism. And, you know, it's like, some people said that the network started to suck ever since they launched their new logo in 2004. And that the new logo is just so incredibly bad. But, you know, it's like, you know, just because a logo has changed doesn't make it bad. You know, it's like, I could really care less if they would change the logo. But, you know, it's like the new Cartoon Network logo, I personally, you know, I don't have a problem with that. Neither was their checkerboard logo. You know, it's like, you know, some people say that the checkerboard logo is like the most grand, magical thing that Cartoon Network has. And it's like, you know, I don't hate the old logo or the new logo. You know, it's just a logo. Now, I've heard some people complain about the live action stuff. You know, it's like, I agree that Cartoon Network shouldn't really be airing shows that are fully live action, such as Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and Batman, the movie, and Dumb and Dumber, all those. Now, while I do prefer the older shows that aired on Cartoon Network, such as Dexter's Laboratory, the Powerpuff Girls, and Courage the Cowardly Dog, over some of the current stuff that they air, like My Gym Partner's a Monkey and Squrrel Boy. But you know, the network isn't completely horrible. I don't think the network is completely horrible. It's like, there's actually some decent shows that they have, such as Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Total Drama Island, Chowder, Transformers Animated, and then there's that new Batman show, which I haven't seen it yet, but I'm gonna check it out. And there's also people who do complain about the live action stuff that Cartoon Network airs. It's usually, they would be complaining about the fact that they would be airing Out of Jimmy's Head. And that's a show that has some animated elements in it, and that is not fully animated. And that's not the first time Cartoon Network has done this. It's like, anybody remember when they aired the Banana Splits? That's not fully animated either. And you know, ironically, I never heard people complain about when they aired Pee-wee's Playhouse or Goosebumps and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's like, there's the Banana Splits, and there's Carrot Top's AM Mayhem, and there's also when Cartoon Network aired Osmosis Jones in 2003. That's also not fully animated either. It's like, you know, so what if Out of Jimmy's Head isn't fully animated? You know, the shows that I just mentioned weren't either. And also, I think Out of Jimmy's Head already got cancelled. Same with Fried Dynamite. So why are we still complaining about that, huh? It's like, you know, if a show's already cancelled, it's like, so it's cancelled, move on. And another thing is that Cartoon Network also had some pretty bad shows back then as well. I mean, it's like, you know, it's not like all the Hanna-Barbera cartoons that they aired was completely perfect and dandy. Because, you know, it isn't even top-notch. I don't consider that company top-notch. It's like, I like their shows such as the Flintstones, the Jetsons, the Smurfs, SWAT Cats, and all those shows. But there's also a lot of shows that they have that I really don't like. I personally never liked Scooby-Doo, nor did I like the cartoons that aired on, nor did I like any of the Hanna-Barbera 1970s cartoons, such as Josie and the Pussycats, and Face, and Captain Caveman and the Teen Angels. It's like, those are just like Scooby-Doo clones. It's like, if you watch those shows, then you will notice how much they are Scooby-Doo clones. And there's also shows like GoBots and Captain Planet that I really don't like. It's like, These shows just don't even appeal to me. It's like GoBots. I never liked GoBots. I find that show just stupid and a complete knockoff of the Transformers. And Captain Planet, the type of, oh, let's save the environment. Yeah, I also find that show pretty dumb. And, you know, I do like the older shows on Cartoon Network then, and I like it better than what they air now. You know, it's driving me insane. It's driving me absolutely crazy how much criticism the network has been receiving. And it's like some of the older shows would get more credit than they deserve. So, also, another thing that ticks me off is when people say that Adult Swim is the only good part that Cartoon Network airs. Well, gee, I wonder why. Well, let me tell you. Because Adult Swim actually is targeted, you guys. Yeah, unlike Cartoon Network, Adult Swim actually is geared to you guys. But even though it is geared to you guys, Adult Swim also airs some pretty bad shows, such as Solve the Moment and Squidbillies and Moral Oral. I personally don't like those shows. And yeah, I do like Adult Swim. I like the shows they air, such as Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Robot Chicken, Family Guy, and all those shows. Now, also, there's some people who like be making petitions, and there's even a person who says that they have like Cartoon Network's phone number. I've heard of people who says that they have Cartoon Network's phone number, and then people are like, oh my god, I'm gonna call them right now. So anyway, stay tuned for part 5 as I go over people complaining about the Disney Channel. Oh yeah, that's coming up on part 5, so stay tuned.